back, everybody. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. I am your host, as always, Matt Wayman. Support us online on Twitter at Words with Wayman, Facebook Words with Wayman, iTunes Words with Wayman. Everybody, we're coming back. Hot, sweet, spicy, brassy, molassy, part 2. My favorite dude in the world, Mr. Ben Bryant. Everybody,
you're my favorite dude.
Denver comic, sketch group member, middle name sketch, tennis pro. We were talking earlier. We were talking about all your sketch stuff and the comedy and everything. How'd you get into comedy? This black hole that we call comedy.
Well, like senior year of high school, I got way funnier out of nowhere. Like just crushing.
Socially killing. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good year to really turn it on.
It was pretty good. And then like somebody just mentioned like you should do comedy. Like it's just an offhanded comment. And I'd always liked watching stand up growing up. And then I don't know. It was just kind of in the back of my head. And then I went to college and didn't make the D1 tennis team, Division I. And I said, well, I need a new goal.
Yeah.
And so a week later, I started stand-up at the open mic at the college, and then just kept it up from there.
Freshman year, huh? Dang.
Yes.
So how long ago was that?
Fucking September of 2011. So like, oh my God, almost 4.5 years.
Whoa. Time flies when you're joking jokes. Did you graduate college?
No, I dropped out of after a year and a half because it was garbage. I went to a shit school. Really
What
bad
school
choice.
was it?
UNC Greeley, University of Northern Colorado.
And you're like, no.
No, yeah, garbage people, garbage school, garbage education.
Greeley's a garbage town. I remember they had that club there. It was called the Down Under, and I did an open mic there one time. And the microphone on stage was gold, which is so aggressive for the shitty little club to have a gold mic.
Yeah, it was fucking the Down Under was a very like I have kind of weirdly fond memories of it because it was the first not even club that I came up in. You didn't even really come up.
No, but it felt like a club more so than open mics.
Yeah, and it was like a club space, and I would hang out there a fair amount because it was...
I liked the bar. It seemed like it could work, but it was just in the wrong town.
Yeah, and like some of the booking choices they made were very aggressive, very bold.
It was just cool. It just felt like a comedy club because you like drive up and it's like in the back of this like shopping mall. And it's like this weird little door, and then it goes down the stairs, and like there's just this cool little club in the basement, and it was like... It was like dingy. It was like it smelled like booze and piss a little bit, but it's like that. Well, that's a cool ass comedy club.
It was extremely like vintage kind of punk rock, old fucking comedy, and like something like that in Denver would be one of the coolest fucking places.
Oh, absolutely, booked right. I think there's no way it couldn't succeed. And Greeley, that's a tough sell. I think a lot of times, but also I heard some people that said they had some good nights there too. So
I mean, it wasn't all bad. It could have been. It was just an extremely difficult uphill battle for them, and it eventually closed.
Oh yeah, closed shortly after I moved up here. I think like just a year. I went up there one time with Bombo, which is this traveling comedian. You know Bombo, right?
Belford?
Yeah. And he like his food stamp cards kicked in that day, so we just went to like the supermarket and he got like a pound of crab salad and ate it out in the sun, just a little treat. He's like, "Get yourself a sandwich, kid."
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, that's my memories of Down Under.
Jesus.
Yeah. So basically, and then you were in Greeley, and then did you directly move down to Denver? Or?
I would like, I don't know, kind of my vessel into Denver was Sam Talon a little bit because I went and saw them at the Down Under, and I had seen them at a couple Fort Collins things, and then I was just like really young and just very doe-eyed, and I was just kept being like, oh gosh, Mr. Nathan Lund, and Nathan was like, you little dipshit, come do my show. And then I did Too Much Fun, and that kind of helped me progress into Denver more. Also, at the end of the first year, I didn't live up in Greeley anymore. I lived in Thornton and commuted to Greeley.
Okay.
So from Thornton, which is like halfway between Fort Collins and Denver, if you don't know, I could drive to Denver fairly easily. It's like 30-ish, and then I just started hitting the mics as like at 18. Well, I was already hitting mics at 18, but around like late 18, 19, I started doing a lot of Denver mics.
And that's kind of when I remember moving up here from New Orleans. I thought it was funny, and then you see all these Denver comedians. You're like, oh my god, everybody's so funny.
Yeah, the generation that came before was a real cool boon for a lot of it. And I mean, we've still got some of that here, but it's definitely faded out. And it's like anything, it changes.
Which is Crushers, you mean?
Yeah, and just like people who I remember, and I'm probably romanticizing it because just being a baby, but just watching some of the people come
that have
up
quit and like since stopped doing comedy.
Yeah, some people who quit who shouldn't, and some people who are still in it who should quit immediately.
That is one of the better ways I think I've heard in a long time, because that's completely right. It is one of those things that does honor time, but there is definitely natural talent that will supersede everything a lot of times as well.
Yeah.
Which is cool though, but I think, if you do put the time in and write, I mean, eventually it will work out. There's some people that will never ever get it, but I mean...
Yeah, I mean, there's people who work hard and I see more results. I see more improvement, but there are also some people who are just kind of generally unpleasant, just as people or as comics, that have a much tougher road than most.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean... If you talk to certain people, that would have been me, as a young comic. So sometimes they're just young, too.
Yeah, trying something different, you mean? Or just kind of like
I'm
being angry?
I'm trying to not say names. Or wait, are you talking about me?
Oh, I was talking about you.
Yeah. No, that, I don't know. I had a pretty rough time of it starting out. People were pretty horrible to me. I mean, people are pretty horrible to everyone when they start out, at least in Denver.
Yeah, pretty much. They won't talk. Everybody has their different gestation period on when they'll talk to you.
Yeah. And I mean, I still do it. I'm not acting like I'm above it. I try not to, but it is really hard sometimes to just be outgoing to everybody. But yeah, people would shit on me on the mic sometimes. I remember first time I went down to Kinga's, Rick DeSimone, who has since quit, so take that as you will.
Retired.
In terms of negativity and comedy. Retired. Would just fucking shit on me. It was like, fucking Dane Cook from Urban Outfitters, because I just went up there and I was just young and tried to...
It's a pretty good DeSimone, though.
Thanks.
Yeah, Greg Baumhauer shit on me so hard. He goes, "Who's this dipshit?" And then I was standing right next to him, and I was like, "That's me." And he's like, "All right, you're up next." It wasn't dipshit. It was a lot worse, but maybe some kids listen to this. But yeah, there is one of the things that you have to fight through. But I also think there's two things. Either you want to get funnier, in some essences to get funnier, but also kind of to spite people, because you think you're funny, I'm going to be just funny for you, not funnier. And two, you also want some acceptance, but the only way you get the acceptance is by kind of either hanging around for a while and being cool and nice, or like actually getting a lot funnier and being cool and nice.
Yeah, I've definitely been fueled by both. More the spite I'm trying to get away from. Well, I mean, spite's good, whatever. But spite's not good, actually.
Sometimes it might be.
But I don't know, the whole acceptance idea, I want to be doing it. I thought about that for a long time and worked towards that because I wasn't accepted, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just that I can't do that anymore. I can't go like, oh, well, who's the person who I think these people want to see? And that's just stupid. That's just not me. I just need to go, all right, what's the most commercially viable, truest to myself version I can be? Rather than like, well, I'm going to go up and tell jokes about blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be that. It needs to be, how can I turn this screenplay about Jerry Springer into something?
And I hear it's also, I think that touches upon just like kind of like finding your voice and find out who you want to be on stage and who you have to be on stage, but also like doing it for long enough to know what you don't want to do on stage. You want to tell those jokes that are actually come from true stories and are actually like a part of your past because you're more connected to them. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. Sometimes I just don't want to write material at all. I just want to, because my off the cuff is generally a lot better received than the material, but have to have the material.
I've been going with that a little bit recently. You do a lot of it too, just like I don't know if have you ever been improv trained?
No.
But you do a lot of riff stuff on stage, which is really fun, but it's like a timing wise thing too, because it's like lately sometimes I've been just riffing right as I get up there, just to kind of break the silence, and then getting into material is kind of weird after that. Or you can like do a hot joke off the top and then maybe get into some ripping afterwards. So it's a tough call. Sometimes you can ruin a show right away with it. And I've done it before. Just like if the riffing doesn't work right away, they're going to hate the jokes.
Yeah, for sure. It is a tough balance. I don't know. Like I did Sushi High yesterday, and it was just kind of a weird long show. And I started off with a little bit of material, and they were all just fucking dead. So I just had to just fucking pound it with crowd work, and I eventually got them back into it, like energy-wise. But it's just like, it's so weird, like this mixture of like actual conversation with the crowd and then the thought of conversation with the crowd through material of like going up there and, oh, well, I'm simulating a spontaneous interaction with everybody. But I've done this joke for 2.5 years.
I've got a lot of those like hacky lines when it's like, oh, table 2's not into it. Typical table 2. And just like stuff that you know is going to work because it feels in the moment, but is like something you do a lot. It could feel shitty. It could feel like you're phoning it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know you have to change that energy in that room, or else you can't just go up there and directly hit them with material and not address the fact that what's happening in the room, which is they're not into it.
Yeah, it's commanding energy. I feel well when I'm in like the most top gear. That's what it feels like. It's just manipulating the flow of people's energy.
Because sometimes when you're not feeling it, it totally comes off on stage. I know that when the crowd's like, "Oh, he's not into it," they can tell right away. But it's like if you're getting up a crazy amount and you're really staying super sharp, it's a lot easier to change people's energy.
For sure, it's like I guess it's not a bike. It's and it's like any skill, you have to keep it sharp, I guess. I don't know.
Like a knife?
Yeah, or
like
kind of. I mean, I guess more like, and I just always use these metaphors for comedy because it's just one of the things I know best. But it's like kind of like weightlifting or like martial arts. Like you're not, if you take a 2-week break, you're losing up to like I think for a professional athlete, if you take a 1-week break, you lose a month of progress.
Crazy
is what it is. And that's proven. Like if you're an actual like linebacker or some shit, you don't go. And I think it's similar. I mean, obviously it's not that extreme because you don't have to have your physique and your nerves.
I think it's that way for writing with comedians. Like I think once you stop writing, it's done. But as long as like I find whenever I'm writing and I go up on stage, I just have so much more that my brain is wanting to tell and working through that it comes off better.
Oh, absolutely.
But even like if I'm going to a bunch of mics and I don't have material, I'm not writing, it doesn't come off well for me. So I think it all stems from material for me.
No, for sure. Writing is like my brain feels better when I write. It's more engaged into just the actual world around me too, and just conversation I do a little bit better.
Absolutely,
it's really, really vital. Even if I just write fucking anything, jokes or
I write different stuff, short stories, sketches, a lot of death threats. I'm getting into that lately. They're so fun.
Yeah, it's
people can't do anything. It's so crazy. You guys can't do a thing.
Yeah, no one will say shit.
You can't. It's a death threat. It's just.
Well, you're not prosecutable. Me back? I already threatened you.
Yeah, you've already been threatened. You can't kill me. I already said I was going to kill you. I think that's what they call double jeopardy. But it's not at all what they call that. So we're getting down there, getting down to the wire. I always ask this question to people that come on the podcast. What would your life be like in 5 years if everything was going unbelievable?
Unbelievable. I'm 22 now. I'll be 27.
22, young boy. It's great you started early, by the way. You have to. I mean, you have a huge leg up on a lot of people that don't start till they're 25, 28. Some people don't even start till they're 30.
Yeah, that is the one thing I've unquestionably done right with stand-up is I'm glad I got into it when I did.
You can always, fall back on that and be like, dude, even if by the time I'm like 30,
Yeah. Well, and I think about that, too, is like these people who I see like passing me. It's like, well, I don't think I can be there or at least touching their level in fucking 10 years, Yeah. In 5 years, most ideal, perfect. I would have a Comedy Central half hour and a property that I own in either Los Angeles or New York.
Nice. You love the New York lifestyle?
Maybe. I don't know.
Have you done comedy there?
No, but the LA mindset kind of bothers me a lot sometimes. There are some people from LA who I've talked to are really great, and they've like actually internalized the best values of LA. But the overwhelming majority are really superficial, hollow.
Terrible people. But I think it's because the people that are like superficial and terrible, they're not like producing their own content, so they have like nothing but to like wean on these other people who are actually producing content.
I haven't heard it like that. That's smart, actually.
Like if you produce content, you'd probably be happy. And like all the people I know that does sketch and everything, like they're super happy out there because they're actually moving forward. As opposed to, I feel like a lot of people probably used to be like, you go to auditions all the time, you're spinning circles. But if you're constantly producing good material,
yeah, you are probably happier, huh?
New York would be a blast too, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to go to both and see what I would think, and then I still need to give it a little while before I would even think about moving, obviously. But
we got a cool thing going up right now in Denver, I feel like.
Yeah, this is good. This is prime time. The scene's going through some changes, and it's ready for some stuff to happen. So we'll we'll see what the next 5 years brings. I hope something great.
You're going to be a part of the change. Everybody be coming up and everybody have a good time. That's as quick as these things go. I mean, that's a perfect outro, huh?
Yeah.
Optimism, everybody. That's what this is about. As always, support us online, guys, at Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook. Thank you so much for listening. You want to give your plugs before we get out of here?
At Ben S. Bryant on Twitter, at MN Sketch on Twitter. And then please go like and subscribe. Middle name, all one word. Middle name on YouTube.
Heck yeah, everybody check him out. Check us out online. Thank you so much for listening, y'all, and we will talk to you all soon.